Hello LEGO YouTube. I wanted to show you a cool little technique I'm going to use uh, for doing a snot spaceship body. And we're going to give this a little try here. So bear with me, a little bit of setup required. Okay, so let's pretend this is 3 plates high or 1 brick high. Now, they make bricks that have these studs on the side, but you don't get a vertical pair. So if I gently, oh so gently, try this out using brackets, you'll notice that the brackets are 1.5 bricks high and they go right to the middle of the plate. Right? So that gives you 4, which means if you had a jumper stud with something in the middle, that would make it parallel to the surface of a brick. And you always get this little 1/2 plate offset, and you just kind of connect things, and you could start to build off of this surface, right? So instead of using a snot brick, you can make your own up, because plates are the new bricks. Because if you make things out of plates, you get a lot more detail and you can make up your own compound bricks. But what I thought would be cool is if you want to think of a snot, and I use a lot of slopes, so if I surface everything out with slopes, I want all the studs to be facing outwards. But here, I don't. So what if I think about taking another thought about this? What if I have 2 of these as mirror images, right? And somewhere I line the plates up like that. So I essentially come up with the exact same piece, only now when I build this up, the studs are always going to be facing outwards and outwards. And that means right here I have 2 halves, but one of them has an extra sheet of plates going through it. Right? So they're mirror images, except for this one has an extra little sheet of plates, and I kind of zigzagged some of it to make it line up easily. And then at the very ends, I'm using these guys, right, which are the male and male connectors, just to make sure it snaps at the very end together. And then I have a row of these guys in the middle. So I'm going to make a nice little sandwich. Right? So if I look at kind of how I'm doing this, I've got the back end with some nice little dot detailing, hearts, color treatments, classic space shout out. I'm missing some blue, 2 blue pieces, but you kind of have to keep moving along. And if I look at this, if I line it up, it should sandwich together. I just press the ends together. Pop. Pop, pop. And I'll have to really squeeze this down. But then I can come in here with one of these big, big plates, right? And that will make a nicely surfaced shape that's equal on both sides, and kept all the studs for slopes. Slopes on top kind of treatment. Slot. Slot. Yeah, we're playing the slots. So that's pretty cool. So instead of this plate being here, that's a placeholder. If I can, I would then snap these wings on, and we'd be off to the races. So yeah, building with standard techniques things went really fast. 1 day of effort, and I've got a nice body already done. Just slamming things down left and right. And I like the Lightning from World War II. So I like this idea of this kind of catamaran dual body core with a split, an open space in the middle, kind of flowing out. Kind of looks like, I like building things that kind of look like a butterfly. Yeah. So given those delicate butterflies, and these I'm leaving off for bars so I can spread things out. And then from these attachment points, I'm going to do some interesting Bionicle on this end. And then this is where the cabin's going to come out. Some cabin up here, yeah. And I'm thinking maybe this thing should be a vertical spaceship. So this would be the top and this would be the bottom. Wouldn't that be wild? Instead of always thinking things as Bespin kind of Cloud City kind of craft, instead turn it and make everything vertical. That'd be wild. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this thing. But anyway, yeah, that little trick of having a pattern of 3 and having these guys invert and go stud outwards to hold it all together, kind of a fun little technique when normally, you know, you're doing a cheat to make things line up in the middle. Instead, go flippity-doo. And there you go. The only problem is instead of using one from the top and one from the bottom, you're going to always burn through a lot more of these brackets that come over and then down. So that's a volume thing. But hopefully this little video gave you an idea of a little way you can use bilateral symmetry. Yeah. To get things done. All right. Cool. Well, I'm just going to take a couple photos and yeah. Thanks, YouTube. Have fun.